Three for you?
Yes, ma'am.
And probably the deepest that the safety room has been since you've been here. Can you talk a little bit about their growth in the off season and what you're hoping to get accomplished between now and opening night?
Since I've been here, this is probably the most talented group we had. I'm starting with Jaden Williams. He's a guy that played nickel last year. He transitioned to safety this year, and he's taking the game to the next level. I'm excited to see what this year brings for him.
Questions?
It seems like we've had a freshman out there back a lot in CJ and Hurry. How has that developed, the trust between you, Coach Herman, and Coach Rockdale at a safety really run a lot of those reps?
CJ, sometimes I forget that he's a freshman. This kid has a lot of potential. I think he's probably going to be one of the best to ever come through these doors, and that's saying a lot. But he has all the potential and tools to do that.
And so seeing Jaden kind of transition over from CB to safety this year, what has that transition been like? Has there been any bumps in the road, or has it been smooth?
None at all. You got to think, when Jay Will got here, he was a corner. So then last 2 years he played nickel. So he could play. He's a guy that we call a true DB that can play all 3 positions.
And then another freshman as well, 2 actually, Mike Wright, Kyle Boylston.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what have you seen from them in the camps, and is it looking like they could potentially play an impact in the future?
Oh yes, the future is bright here at FAU when it comes to the safety room. Mike Wright, I think he's going to be a phenomenal player one day. But he's a freshman, so he got to go through the freshman bumps. But once he learns and see things that he hasn't seen before on the high school level, I think he's going to be fine as well. And Kyle, he's going to be great. He's going to be really great.
And then Phil coming over from Indiana, how is he kind of taking on a veteran role in that room while also learning on the fly at the same time?
One thing about Phil, he's not a big vocal guy, but his action speaks louder than words. He played big-time football last year. He had been in the 80,000 stadiums, and he played well. And he's going to make the plays that a lot of other guys won't make because he's seen a lot of football.
And last question from me. It seems like there's a lot of depth in that room. How are the guys kind of taking on the ability of maybe not playing every down but substituting into the role that best suits them?
And I'm going to just speak from the safety position. One thing I tell my guys, if you're in the two deep, you're pretty much going to play. So I'm going to have 4 stars, So if you get in that 2 deep, you're going to play. So there's no confusion. You're going to get on the field. It might be too serious, but you're going to get on the field.
Can you just briefly outline what you expect out of your safeties within the scheme of this defense?
Verbal communication, getting guys lined up. The ball will bust out, we got to get them down, and just eliminate explosives.
Anybody else?
When you're transitioning from someone who, like Jaden, primary nickel last year, came in as a corner, what's the most important thing that needs to be learned when they transition to safety?
Probably for Jaden, I'm just speaking about himself. It's probably his plays in the post right now. Once he learns how to play in the post, which is probably one of the easiest things in the back end, but it's just little things he got to grasp, and once he grasps that, he's going to be the complete guy.
Coach, how refreshing is it after last year you were so banged up to have all these bodies this year?
Oh man, it's amazing. I mean, last year my depth got all the way down to a walk-on, so this year I feel pretty good about the room right now, and the young guys come along real well.
Okay.
Can I have one more? I'm sorry. When you have a scrimmage and then the day off and then you come back to practice on Monday, for you, the process of watching film, reviewing, and then applying, how are you able to accomplish that after a scrimmage in fall?
I mean, just like we just did today, man, the things we did, I ain't gonna say bad, but the things we need to work on from that scrimmage, we went over today in our individual period. The guys went over in film, and we just taking our endo to a team. That's why I always say take endo to team preparation.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right,
thanks, Coach.
Thank you guys. Go out.